director's fault. This is not anybody who's on the commission's fault. This is not anybody in this room's fault. That's this infrastructure situation is something that we've kicked the can down the road and spent money on things that that don't involve our economy and how we move stuff to market. And it's time that we do that. And that bridge that everybody's having to go over is older than the directory is, and the bridge that's in failure is my age. So that's what we're dealing with, and that's what you're having to deal with, and we're going to deal with as a nation united. The next one in the queue is 106. 106, Representative Kavanaugh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I just have probably these questions that everybody's asking. So we have one person that inspects the bridges. We don't have redundancy built in our inspection, and there's someone that follows behind them, and the same person inspects the same bridge year after year after year.
Yes, ma'am. This particular employee was the only one. He was a team leader, and that's part of our flaw in our process that we're going to fix. That we have that redundancy, those checks and balances. So you're exactly right. That's a big problem that we did not catch, that he was not doing his job. And that's what we have to address as a department, and we will.
Follow up, Mr. Chair. I guess that's, and I understand it wasn't in your watch when this crack happened, but it was the watch of ARDOT. It was their responsibility to make sure that these bridges were inspected and inspected properly. And I understand that. It's not you didn't build it, but ARDOT's responsibility was the inspection. ARDOT failed in that duty, and it's a big duty. And as you brought out, it puts all the other inspections you do in question. Because if it can happen with one and a critical infrastructure like this, it can happen on minor ones, which would be catastrophic for small communities if they lost a bridge. Mm-hmm. But the gentleman that did the I40 inspection, is he the same gentleman that did the I55 inspection, the bridge?
I don't recall that. I'm trying to think. He was on there with other people. So there's a group of, there's probably 4 to 6 people on the 55 the last time. He was not the team leader on that. He was part of the team, but he was not the primary on that.
But he was the one that actually was supposed to be looking for cracks, just like he was supposed to be looking for cracks on the I40.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Is it the reverse? We inspect the 55, or we inspect the 40, and Tennessee inspects the 55, or is it an agreement?
We do all the inspections on those bridges with Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Next in the queue is 114. Who is that? 114.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lori, the old bridge that went over, I think it was built in the 1940s, but it was a shorter bridge than the one that they're using now. I just wonder, probably you didn't have earthquake standards in place then. And I don't even know if you had it in 1973, but you're right there on the New Madrid Fault, mm-hmm. where all the shaking goes on all the time, where they live and where I live too. But what I kind of wonder is, you got all this farm equipment, and you're going from, say, a 6-lane to a 4-lane, mm-hmm. and you're redirecting that traffic, and that's going from Arkansas to Mississippi and vice versa to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. How is that affecting the overall picture with slowing things down? Can you tell us that?
Well, the last report I got is, and I've been in I've been in contact several times over the last week with my counterpart in Tennessee. And in talking to our staff, the traffic's flowing fairly well, all things considered. The last I heard that have you heard anything else? Everything was flowing pretty good. People are either detouring or the 55 bridge is able to take the extra load. Rex, have you got any additional information?
Oh, ma'am.
Answer your question, Representative Rye? Okay.
Next in the queue is 112. Who is that? Senator Chesterfield?
Yes, it is I, Mr. Chair. Thank you. And thank you for being here.